What's going on? My name is Amy Nicholas. Welcome to the channel. I'm in month 5 of being a day trader, and I'm going to share with you today my aha moment about day trading. So let's preface this with a story of this past week where I took Monday off as a consequence for over trading the previous week. So I traded Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I had red days except for one. So I went 2 red days, 1 green day. So I kind of had this thought that, Fridays, I don't necessarily trade my best. Fridays, sometimes the market is kind of wonky and it's just how it is. People are trying to get out of positions before the weekend. And now with the tariff panics, it's like chaos, right? So there was a comment, and I mentioned this on another video, but there was a comment on my YouTube channel, and somebody said that they trade at a different time nowadays. And I said, I'm thinking, okay, I usually trade at the open as part of my redefined strategy. I used to trade pre-market to the open, and I switched to trading the open to later in the day. I should say the next hour to 2. And I decided, you know what? I like this idea. I'm going to just switch it up. I'm going to trade today, but I'm not going to rush into the market. So I didn't even look at the charts. I didn't even hardly look at the market other than noticing it was very down this morning. But I got on the computer it was well after an hour after the open. And so that's like 7:45 my time, 10:45 Eastern time. And I was like, I'm wanting to just kind of finish up this 20 trades experiment I'm doing, and I've got 1 trade left. So I was like, I just want to take 1 trade, and then, I can close out this experiment of trading 2 shares per trade with a 75-cent trailing stop. And the whole goal of this experiment is to continuously build on my position sizing without having the issues of fear, like of losing money, fear of entry, like second guessing myself, hesitating to get into trades. And, working out my issues I found out in this 20 trades, the second round, of figuring out where to get out. So it's been a great learning process, but today was an aha moment because what I did was I decided to short Amazon. So I usually, for these bigger name stocks, the Mag 7s, that are well over $100 a share, I will trade their ETFs. So there's a bearish and a bullish ETF for most of the Mag 7 stocks. And I pulled up AMZD, which is the bearish ETF for Amazon. Decided to jump in that. I knew it wasn't going to move very much because this ETF is priced at like $14. And if you've watched other videos on my channel, you know my frustrations about TSLR, which is the long ETF for Tesla that's priced about $14. And what it means is that you're only going to get a couple of cents moves on these ETFs because they're tracking the volatility of the bigger stock. So for my purposes, having this small stop loss and having, I'm not using a lot of capital. I just wanted to trade these ETFs because it's just easier. So I bought the 2 shares of AMZD, and in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, let's just try to something different. Instead of trying to go for this usual, my 75-cent trailing stops, I usually am like, let's go for the dollar, profit as a reward. But I decided to, before I even jumped into this ETF, I decided to create a new template on Thinkorswim. And I called it my scalp template. Because I'm thinking, and I'm like, I really just want to jump in, scalp a little bit, and get in, get out. And I set up a template where it would auto buy 2 shares, and it would have a 1 cancels the other order for a take profit and for a hard stop. Decided to do the hard stop this time. And I set it up for a 20-cent stop and a 25-cent take profit. Not a big risk and reward, gap there. But I was like, let's just play with this last trade of this 20 series. And I get in, and it's kind of flat, doesn't go, for me or against me initially. Then I see it kind of going down a few cents. I'm like, okay, whatever. I know my direction's right. Like Amazon's just plummeting this morning. I was like, wait for the next leg. And I kind of sat there for a little bit and I saw, okay, I'm in the green now. And it's a couple cents because again, this ETF is like $14. So I had jumped in at, let's see, where are we? $14.36. And I think I saw, at one point I was ranging between 4 and 5 cents profit. Again, this is 2 shares. And I was like, you know what? I just want to close this trade and just be like, I'm green, because I've had kind of this run on this second series of 20 trades where I've had way more red days and red trades than green. And I just wanted to get on the books another green as I finish this experiment. So I closed it out at $14.38 for a wild profit of 2 cents, or sorry, 4 cents, because 2 shares. And I'm thinking about it and I'm like, Amy, this is your lane. Like, you've been trying to, have this wider stop because you didn't want to get stopped out so easily. And you've been, because of the risk, you've been trying to increase your take profit. And some of the moves lately have just not panned out that way for the type of trading I like to do, which is momentum, get in, get out. My best trades have lasted somewhere between 15 seconds now, as of the second trade today you'll hear about, and 5 minutes. Like, is almost like a long trade for me. And my aha moment is like, oh my gosh, I'm a scalp trader. Like, I don't know why I kind of like shied from being like that or whatever, but that's just in my nature of, this is the way I like to trade. Yes, I could stay longer. Yes, I could get more profit sometimes if I wait it out. Yes, I could potentially, the risk to reward be a lot better if I'm willing to have a wider stop and be patient with take profit. But is that the way I really like to trade? And when I look back at the wins I've had with trading, no. The last 20 trades I did, the first series where I was trading 1 share, when I looked at many of them were green. I went like 14 green, 6 red on that experiment. When I looked back at it, I'm like, oh, like a lot of the trades that I was green, profitable, I took profit very quickly. It was never, I don't think I even hit the dollar take profit, but maybe one time. And I'm like, light bulb, this worked for me, because at the end of those 20 trades, I was profitable. Like, even though I was scalping and I wasn't getting a lot per each individual trade, I still made more than what I lost. So to me, that's a win, and the second series of 20, it's like, oh, I was trying to go for bigger profits and I'm trying to force trades, and I'm going against my own strategy without even realizing that was the type of trader I was. So I'm kind of telling you all this to just say, like, lean into your strength, lean into what you're naturally inclined to do and acclimated for. And for me, my risk tolerance is kind of like, I don't want to be open to risk for too long. Like, one of my things about getting out of trades is if it takes too long to get to a take profit, I'm just going to exit, because I'd rather exit, get out, try a different trade or something than to sit there and wait. And that's building my issues of worry and fear about being in the trade too long. It's exposing me to risk longer. The longer you're in a trade, the more risk you're exposed to, right? So I'm just sort of coming to the realization of all this, right? So second trade here, okay. I decided to pull up Palantir, and I traded the actual stock because Palantir is under $100, and I got in with the 2 shares at $72.63. And I kind of, used my indicators and whatnot. I'm using stochastic oscillator here on the bottom. I just recently found out that Robinhood, and I apologize, you guys can't really see this, but Robinhood just added on their Robinhood Legend platform the ability to, what do they call these? They're resistance and support lines. I forget what it's listed as under the indicators, but you'll find it there. And now I've got support. It's so far down from resistance right now. These stocks are so down. This is Amazon, by the way. But it'll list all the lines for you. And it's cool. It's like S1, S2, S3, or R1, R2, R3. So anyways, I'm looking at that this morning to help me. I'm watching my candles, and it was just kind of an obvious trade. Like Palantir's turning around. Like I could see the stochastic oscillator turning, literally turning, crossing up, going back up, bullish candles, you know, engulfing, forming and everything. And it was on my 5 minutes. So I was like, okay, we're in. And then I had put my custom template again on this one. So I had my 20-cent hard stop and I have my 25-cent take profit. And I kid you not, this lasted about 15 seconds and boom, it's selling it and I'm taking my profit. So I'm up 50 cents on this trade. Only to, of course, see that Palantir was just beginning its move and continued on for like $2.50 more, something like that, ridiculous. But you know, I would have, again, had to wait out a little longer for that. And I'm like, okay, the point wasn't to take as much profit as possible. The point of this second trade for me was just lean into the scalping strategy. Like if this is your style, try it out on another stock, see what happens. You know, such minimal, you know, risking here with the 20 cents, very small take profit at 25. But I just wanted to play it out and be like, okay, is this going to work in my favor? Cool. And it did, and it did fast, and boom. I'm literally only sitting at the desk today 10 minutes, I think, 15 minutes. And I'm like thinking in my mind, yes, this is the kind of trading lifestyle I would love to have. Like, of course, there's all kinds of other time put in to trading where I'm learning, I'm investing in courses now. I'm in like trade alert newsletters and things. I'm following the markets. I'm, reading books, learning about the technicals, all that other stuff is many, many hours. But the actual sitting at the desk time, I'm like, cool, 2 green trades in, 10 minutes is exactly the kind of trading I want to do. So today was just very illuminating for me to realize what really worked for me in those first 20 trades was that I was scalping, and I just didn't even realize it. It was better about tracking too my time of getting in and out of trades. And that was one of the things that I remember mentioning it in some of my videos of this experiment. You go back on the channel and see when I first started it. But today was just sort of the aha of like, oh, right, that's why that experiment went well, because I wasn't sitting in trades very long. I was, not trying to squeeze the grape and get as much profit as I could. I was just, hey, I'm green. Cool. Like it's going in the right direction. Cool. Up a few more cents. Cool. Let's get out. Like it was just, get some profits under the belt and keep going. And I'm thankful that I had enough wins to alleviate some of the losses with that one too. So going forward, I don't know what my next experiment will be. And this actual Palantir trade wasn't even part of the 20 trades experiment. That concluded with AMZD. But I was like, let me just try another one in the similar fashion here. And I may just go into the next series of 20 trades with keeping that scalping idea in mind. I'm actually working with ChatGPT. Great stuff. I'm on the paid plan, so it can really analyze and think things through for you. And I asked it to kind of help me with the scalping strategy, and it's great. It'll put it all together in like a little PDF for you and whatnot. If you guys are interested, just comment down below. I'll put it in my day trading resources, which is a Google Doc I've got. You guys can get free access to that. Just put your email in when you click the link below. And I can add that as a downloadable link. I did add the how to use the stochastic oscillator, and ChatGPT explained that very well. Gave me a playbook for using that. I did add that link to the Google document. So if you've already subscribed, go back and check that link. You'll see now there's a place to access that and open a new window. But yeah, I'll just keep adding stuff to that. Anything that's helped me, I'll just keep putting in there for you guys. And yeah, if you guys are interested, like I said, I'll add this scalping strategy playbook too. It wasn't necessarily that Chat gave me a very specific thing today with my trades. It was more like I said, just the aha moment of like, oh, this is the kind of trades I should be focused on. Like, yes, I'm a momentum trader. Yes, I like to capture these quick moves and things. And for whatever reason, I just hadn't leaned into that idea of being a scalper. And there's probably some people that are, you know, they're in it for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, whatever. But I like the idea of risking very little to gain a little bit more. You know, I'm not thinking that I'm per se the trader just now who's trying to get those big 5-to-1, you know, plays. It's just not right now where I'm at as a trader. I'd rather go in the lane that's working for me right now and later on evolve, you know, and my risk tolerance might be better later on for me to do those kinds of trades. But I think right now, this is where my risk tolerance is, and you just hone in on it. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.